game show.
Jesus.
Hey Spectrum, it's Ark and Natalie, back at it again with another Noise News.
Prom is coming up on Saturday, April 30th. Tickets are on sale.
The deadline to purchase tickets and sign up for the Grand March is Wednesday, April 20th. You can find tickets in the school store on Infinity Campus. If you have any questions, see Ms. Johnson.
Student Council is planning the annual Powder Puff Flag Football Tournament that will be held on Friday, May 13th at 6:30 p.m. at the football field. Contact Ms. Spicker or another member of Student Council if you have any questions. Art, what are some hobbies you like to do for fun?
Well, I enjoy anchoring for Noise News, being the anchor of Noise News, and getting to be on Noise News as an anchor.
Looks like we have something in common, but I think you should diversify your options. Anchoring will get boring one day.
No, it never will, Natalie. I've been doing this for far too long. But if I need some ideas for hobbies, I know Ethan and Emma made a story about the many hobbies our school community has. Take it away, team.
Throughout Spectrum, students are up to a lot. Sometimes it's homework, sometimes it's sports. What a lot of people do in their free time is spend time on their hobbies.
It really is primarily trying to analyze and think about different ideas from different perspectives. It sounds so small, but the reality is everything you encounter can be looked at from a number of different ways.
While some hobbies seem difficult or complex, some are much simpler.
In 7th grade, when I came to Spectrum, I had to choose a fall sport that I wanted to do. And I wasn't used to the 5 days a week of practice because before I'd done soccer. So for some reason, I decided to try cross country instead, even though that was still 5 days a week.
Well, my mother taught me how to crochet, and writing and drawing I picked up during middle school, I think. Just got all my homework done and stuff and needed something to do.
Within people's hobbies, there are always certain things that make people so interested in what they're spending their time on doing.
At the beginning of every year with physics, we talk about our contingent existence, where I'll ask everybody to talk about something, describe themselves, and then talk through the idea of that you can't describe yourself without some external reference point. When we talk about I only means something as a result of what's around me. There's no I without what's around me. And really, like, understanding that well helps to expand our understanding of how we are interdependent and everybody's kind of looking at each other. And we need each other. And really, like, that's the kind of stuff that's spilling around in my head all the time.
Running is just, it can be relaxing. It sounds weird and like most people don't believe me when I say it, but just like to get out and just run like with no purpose, like just for the sake of running, it's really nice.
Nice. What do you find interesting about these hobbies?
Well, for crocheting, it's being able to make something and keep my hands busy. And with writing, it was being able to create my own universes, supposedly, and just having fun letting words build stories and whatnot.
This has been Emma and Ethan. Back to you, Natalie and Arik.
Our student body is full of interesting talents and hobbies. You know something else America is full of? Debt.
Wow, way to be a Debbie Downer, Natalie. What kind of transition is that anyways?
Our next story is about this issue, with a personal story of someone who managed to escape the cycle. Here's more information with Belle and Aaron.
Here at Spectrum, many students only see a portion of their teachers' lives, but what many don't know is that every teacher has battles of their own outside of school. Spectrum social studies teacher and NHS advisor Mr. Hyde was featured on a show called Are You Ready to Change Your Life Today?
And we employed several methods, if you will, over the years, and it just wasn't working. And the problem was, I'll give it away now, is we didn't change our mindset.
This show is just one way that one can try and eliminate financial pressures.
My wife mostly picked up extra hours because it was the smartest way to earn money for her in her career, rather than go get a second or third job or anything. And so she just picked up hours. She was working $80 to $100 hours per pay period, and sometimes 80 hours a week. I would have to pick up different jobs, but we both did Shipt shopping, we both did Uber.
Mr. Hyde was just one of many that were held, but it wasn't like the confetti one might see on TV.
I was struggling with a little bit, I think we both were, a little bit of closure on the 5 years, because I think I said this in class one day, there were no balloons and sparks and fireworks when we paid off our debt in this last June. Nothing happened.
A great moment for Mr. Hyde, but before that was a long journey of feelings of the unknown.
It was a wonderful way to wrap it up and close it and move on to our next chapter. It took us a little bit to get a $1,000 emergency fund. That sounds like nothing, but it's really hard when you're struggling. But I can't tell you the first time something came up where you had to use your emergency fund. Can't tell you the relief and the stress that wasn't there, but we absolutely needed an emotional break, a physical break from how intensely we were working, how many hours a week we were working.
We all have been through difficult situations and made sacrifices, but in the end, we get through it. This has been Belle and Aaron, Noise News.
Thanks, team.
Looks like that's all the noise we have for you this week, Spectrum.
This has been Art,
And Natalie,
keeping you
in on the noise.